Hello, everybody, and welcome to Galeria's My League. Today, we have the titanic, monstrous clash between Diff and VTuber the battle for the second place in the standings currently. Today, we have Printers on the production, me on chair 1, and I'm joined by a first-time caster in chair 2, Kai. Say hello, Kai.
Hello.
That's good. Oh, what? What the fuck? Sorry, I'm being distracted. So, I don't know. What just my cat just fucking jumped like 5 feet. Dude, I didn't know what to fucking do. She just jumped 5 feet. Okay,
Leave the
looking at
cat
standings
alone.
over here, we see that Kuman and Zoom and that shitter team has already managed to secure first place in the league, but the battle for second place is still up in the air. If Vichu is 2 this, they can handily get it, but if Ping 2 this, they handily get the second place. So there's gonna be a big deciding factor for the end of the stream. For the end of the stream and of the tournament.
It'll be interesting to see out of all of the teams that get through. I feel like the teams at this point are better than they were in the first half of the season, with like the different players that have been picked up and moved around, and it makes it more interesting than the mid-season. I feel like a lot of teams are going into this last stage stronger than they were before.
Yeah, definitely. At the end of the season here, teams are really starting to get like in their flow and starting to show how much they can do as we get into the picks and bans over here. Ping Diff, I've already banned out Kepler and Raven, while Vitru's Paradise, I've banned out Flowerker Bracken.
I think the Baba Yaga ban is quite interesting. But it's a little bit interesting, but given the fact that VTubers mid laner likes to play that a lot, I guess I can see why they've banned that.
Yeah, it makes sense. And then Hades, so Vitru's Paradise, and then Daji insta-locked by Ping Diff. As Daji's a very dominant pick right now. And response for Vitru's Paradise, Guan Yu. I like both sides so far.
It's two gods really you have to pick up if they're open. Regardless of, especially Guan Yu, I feel like he pretty much dominates anybody in solo lane and team fights too. He's just I feel like if he's open and you're not picking him, then something's going wrong.
Now, if I see Guan Yu on the other side of the team, the first thing I kind of think about is like Cthulhu, or like some other gods that have decent matchups into Guan Yu. Well, what do you think Miranda's going to play here?
I would imagine with the Guan Yu coming in, then I would imagine we could probably see a Cthulhu here. Decent into the Guan, and Mirandus doesn't mind to play either.
Yeah, I feel like that should be the play for you if you're going that route, as Radatolsker gets locked in for the side of Vitru's Paradise. That's going for Basilius, I'm sure. Rat has not seen like a whole bunch of play anymore, but it's still, I think he's still like a very decent jungler. I think Basilius runs it pretty well from the games I've seen him play it.
He's definitely a very high-end jungler, I'd say, yeah. And also I agree with you that he's not being played maybe as much as he should, but with the other characters that are good, like Daji, Thor, and the other ones that are good in the meta, he kind of just, he's good, but he's not quite as good as those, so he doesn't really see as much playtime.
Interesting that they forgo in the Shah here, and then rather go to the Radatolsker jungle as the first pick in mind. Well, we completely forgot about one god that is criminal that's not being seen right now, and that's Vulcan.
They will
Ishtar
all
as well.
obey
Ishtar and Vulcan are still in
the sky, crack and fall.
It's going to be Ishtar Cthulhu, which is probably not bad. It's probably good to see you here.
The Cthulhu pick is kind of a given into the Guan, to be honest. It pretty much negates the lane, and I'd say Cthulhu has pretty much as much impact in a team fight as a Guan, maybe a little bit less, but Cthulhu's still good in team fight and lane all the same.
Yeah, I have to agree. Cthulhu is just like a crazy like in team fight god, but Guan, when he gets on that cavalry charge, yeah, that's just not something you can do about it. And VTuber's Paradise is going for the Jing Wei pick. Interesting.
Another
Jing
pick
Wei into Ishtar.
Another pick that Lucky favors with some of his ADCs in the dueling. Very good player on the Jingwei.
Yeah,
also
I've seen
relatively safe too against the other picks so far.
Yeah, it's also a pretty decent pick against Cthulhu, I guess, because late game you have so much damage with your stim and your 2. That Cthulhu like takes a bit too much damage really. And also the matchup of Jingwei into Ishtar. I think that's actually a pretty decent matchup for the Jingwei. You can sort of like ult the Ishtar ult and keep fighting afterwards. Now we're going back into the ban stages. Well, VTuber's Paradise have already banned out Poseidon and the Morgan. And Pigniv have banned out Geb and Jingten. Clearly getting that rain for Brandis' hands because his own team doesn't want him to play it.
It's
That's
either they don't want him
Ganesh.
to play it or they're scared of him playing against it. I think it's probably one of the two.
Yeah, it's got to be something. And here's a pick that's been seeing a little bit more play recently. Ganesh. I think it's decent. I mean, you can't really go wrong with Ganesh, can you? That god is it just does everything.
You can pretty much play Ganesh into any comp. I feel like it's pretty strong into the Daji, especially too. She's going to be being forced to use her ultimate a lot with the Ganesh being on side, if she's blinking in or dashing in or anything like that.
I feel like this Ganesh could do real big trouble to the Cthulhu if Ganesh just sits on you and suddenly you can't go into your ults and just a sitting duck basically. As Ping Diff are looking at the Yemoja and do pick it up. And the Agni. Interesting.
I prefer the Emoji pick a lot there to the Ymir that was being hovered before. I don't think Ymir would have anywhere near as much impact as the Emoji does.
Yeah, I just feel in those late game team fights, Cthulhu with the Emoji, that's gotta be
Face
scary
the
if you're
wrath
inside
of a
of VTuber's
sorceress
Paradise.
scorned.
But they answer it with a Morgan Le Fay, which is a decent ban, but I think Agni outranges her just a little bit too much.
I mean, I'm not sure about the Morgan Le Fay pick. I'm kind of torn on whether that's good or not. I guess the has a little bit of self-pill from the Daji and things like that, but they have a comp that can run it down pretty easily.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've got the full drafts here right in front of us. Which draft do you favor at, like, right now?
I'd have to say Pink Diffs. I don't think there's much between it though, saying that, because VTubers have picked up the Guan, they have picked up the Ganesh, they've still got some very good picks in there as well.
Definitely. I think both teams can honestly take it. I feel like Pingdif's comp is a little bit late game, to be honest. Because VTubers do have this rat that can just, if Basilius plays it well enough, he can easily run the game and snowball the other side. And I feel like if VTubers doesn't get an Ankh against Cthulhu Yemoja, then they're gonna be trolling a little bit.
Yeah, they have to get that. And like you said, the Basilius could go big on the rat, but also at the same time, BMJ playing Daji, that's one, a very good god, and two, a very good player playing it as well.
Yeah, definitely. And as we're going into game one, let me see. Already some skirmishing on the rat buff of VTuber's Paradise. Mr. I Love Mothers is trying to pad his damage stats, as you can clearly see. And not being successful because you get poked out completely by Luxor Gaming. Pretty sure that was a failed power play by him. And looking at the builds, everything looks regular. Maybe a Tainted on Guan would have been fine instead of an Axe, but I don't think you can go wrong with Axe. Yeah, pretty much looks all normal to me.
Yeah, and there's nothing really across any of those builds I would say is weird or it's to be expected, to be honest. These are two
I
pretty good
think
teams.
something interesting, I think this is pretty much the last game that's going to be without Beats Aegis. Then Aegis is going to officially return because I think the patch is tomorrow. So,
Yeah, we wouldn't have to play against 5-man blinks anymore.
Oh yeah, that's something to look forward to. I think though the change is gonna like reevaluate some backgrounders' opinions on Aegis, and maybe like them. Maybe the shell wasn't that bad.
The shell has been definitely since the Aegis has been gone, or primarily because I mean nobody's been keeping Aegis and not getting beads. The shell has been pretty big, but I'm not convinced whether it's enough to completely disregard the Aegis. With some of the ults you have in the game, it just makes it so easy to abuse certain gods.
Basilius is trying to take a fight here, just pummeling him down. I don't think that she wins this, but she is returning fire pretty well with a 1, but Luxor Gaming joins in the fight. Big Man Jesus poked out. Agni dashes in. Basilius is hunting for the kill. He's going to get Acorn back up soon, and he does secure the kill onto Big Man Jesus, and that's going to be first blood in the side of VTuber's Paradise.
This is a really nice rotation from Luxio as well. Just
Yeah.
confirming the kill pretty much from him.
Catching him completely off guard. I think Matt needs to watch out because Luxor Gaming is level 3. Needs to watch out. Oh, but he takes over to level 3 as well. The clone is damaging him. And Basilius misses to dash, but he confirms it with the acorns. Luxor Gaming basically putting Matt in his place.
2 minutes in and there's already a mid gap. I mean, it's interesting to see. I'm not sure why he was that far up the lane, but I'm sure we'll see a different side to him as the game goes on.
Yeah, you can't just do that when you're... that level 3 fight is so crucial.
Definitely. Especially when your jungler's just been picked as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't just walk around and show such little respect. Basilius is already checking out the left side, looking for a gank. And the side of Pingdiv is completely alone. Kind of stepping up above Basilius is just gonna do the purple buff, which is probably wise. He's already got two kills resulting from 1 gank. I don't think he needs to do much more.
Right now, no, he doesn't. It's more the other way around now. It just makes Dodgy have to work harder to catch him up. He's kind of in control of what he wants to do now.
VTuber's Paradise are doing what I just said and just doing the early game pretty well. They're about, I'd say, 800 gold ahead-ish. It's like, it's not that much, but it can escalate to much more if you see being pressure put in the right places. I think that the soul lane is still pretty able to gank for Basilius when Cthulhu hasn't reached 5 yet. Even with 5, Cthulhu isn't that tanky in his ult that early in the game. And this dual lane is pretty gankable as well.
I felt like, he could gank both sides pretty easily, and also, especially off of the first 2 minutes, seeing the mid and the junglers fight each other, I mean, if I was Basilius and Luxio, I'd be pretty confident that we could also be ganking this mid laner a lot too, or even putting pressure on the jungler.
Basilius has level 5 now and is looking to do something over here. Now Spark is walking up a bit more than he should. I just feel that he might have been caught out here. And he does fall to Basilius. That's great play from him. And Luxor Gaming gets a solo kill on I Love Mothers.
That is...
Now, Kai, we were just in a chat with Matt a while ago. What did he quote again? Can you tell me? Were you there?
I don't know whether I can quote word for word what it was, but it was that he was going to do some pretty mean things to Luxio mid, and it seems maybe Luxio heard this and wouldn't stand for it.
Yeah, I personally, if I was Luxor Gaming, I would not take that, and he did not take that, and he just said, "Yeah, I'm just gonna shove this down to you." And now this mid gap is really starting to show. It's only like 5 minutes in. As a blue buff is being invaded on the right side. Good job from Pingdiff, good job from BMG. But this mid gap is starting to show over here. You know, Matt still wants to show pressure, but
it's starting to show. I feel like Matt is also.
Oh, it's a good gank coming in, I think.
It's going so far. He's trying to start to prove a point. I think.
Luxor Gaming
both of these mid laners are going to have to be a lot more careful than they're currently being. They're both playing pretty recklessly in terms of just pushing up the lane, and just like Luxio just then didn't have much health at all, and he's just playing like he was never going to get ganked.
Good job from Big Man Jesus right there, just knowing that Matt poked out Luxor Gaming so hard and he refused to back down. As his mid wave gets shoved into tower and the backgams get invaded by Big Man Jesus. I think he's responded very well to the early game of Basilius right now.
Yeah, he definitely has, and picking up that kill on Luxio as well was good. It seems like this game might be played predominantly through the mid lane.
Might be... Oh no, he's fine. Although, I think he might still be caught out here as he doesn't have the power to do anything. Thradis does a weird charge, but I don't think it's going to matter anyway. Because the Ganeshel is going to slow him down enough. As Basilius is again showing how much pressure this rat has in the early game. And I think they're going to invade the Scorpion here. I don't think there's much they can do.
He also, Rat also pulled Agni Beads right there too, so that's another big pickup. Just off of his 3. The Ganesh ult was, I guess they secured the kill, but maybe double ult and it was a little bit unnecessary.
Yeah, I think if Threadus just went for the stun, that the kill would have been a bit easier. And Ganesh ult wasn't needed then. But I get what he was trying going for. I even see Miranda's being gone on here. Cthulhu ults in the early game doesn't provide that much for you as he's absolutely being gone on right now, but Big Man Jesus in the fray now. He's absolutely destroying Basilius right now and they're turning the fight completely on its head. Threadis has a 3 online and Miranda's is still trying to keep the fight going. But it looks like it's going to be a disengage here. Great gank from Big Man Jesus and great stalling out on the side of Miranda's. I think they're going to look for a blue buff invader and they're definitely going to get it. I don't think that Dalsy and Threadus can do anything over here. As Threadus might get caught out here. That's a great emoji ult and the cavalry charge is not going to be successful at anything. Oh, but the damage is just not enough. Wow, that's action.
It was a strange gank onto Rat.
Oh no, no, Matthew. Oh, Luxor.
Oh no, Matt.
Oh, it happens again! There's no way, and Basilius catches the rotation that Big Man Jesus wants to do, but he gets the fight completely turned. Oh, great job from Luxor Gaming! Ooh.
Great job from Luxor.
Oh, doesn't matter though, because the 2 from Mr. Nacho is gonna save him, but Basilius finishes it off and gets out cleanly. Man, this is so action-packed!
I feel like going back to the solo lane for that gank that started all that sequence of plays. It was just a little bit strange how they're trying to gank a Cthulhu who is pretty much full health and still has ult. It was always going to be turned on its head if a counter rotation was had.
Lucky. It's a bit of a trouble. He has no mana left, but I think he just got way too far there. Dalsy gonna use the ult for peel. Probably wasn't necessary, but I think it's fine. Yeah, Matt has been solo twice by Luxor Gaming. Surely that's some impact on the standings on the on this weekly summary.
If Luxio gets many more solo kills in this game, I'd probably be saying he should be number 1.
Yeah, definitely. There's a good argument for that. Because current number 1 is kind of a shitter, if I remember correctly. As you see, Luxor contesting these oracles, but he's being gone on here. He can peel himself quite well. He's a Morgan Le Fay, and he pops the ult just to stop the stun from doing anything.
That was probably unnecessary ult.
Yeah.
He had 3 people ready to collapse on him. It's no problem using the ult right there.
And Pingdiv are very aggressive, but I've seen VTubers respond very, very well with counter aggression on this side here, as Big Man Jesus is looking to strip away this red buff. And I think he got it. He definitely got it, yeah. But I think it's going to cost him his life, unfortunately, as Basilius is going to catch the rotation now. You do secure the red on your side, but you do get killed for it. So I love Mothers taking a bit more poke.
Both junglers right now are pretty much at the forefront in all of the action. I mean, BMJ has all of his team's kills.
Yes,
Basilius has been
or that's though. And Basilius is a bit more clean on it as of right now.
Yeah, the call to take red for him was a little bit strange considering he didn't really know where Basilius was and he knew that 2 people were on the red buff already.
Yeah, there's also this gold lead is like almost insignificant. It's basically 500, 600 gold, 10 minutes in. That's almost nothing. It's a slight lead for VTuber's Paradise, but it's not going to matter as Matt takes a tower shot, but Basilius is not going to chase it down.
Yeah, a little bit strange that he wasn't ready to go really aggressive then, but maybe he had a feeling that, or knew that BMJ was hanging around for that. There's been a lot of counter rotations and stuff during this game so far.
Now, Aggie bombs in the early game don't really have that much damage, but late game, I think Luxor Gaming needs to watch out with his positioning here, as he's taking those bombs on his head, but just don't do damage yet.
No, but like you said, later game they will.
Mhm.
And as we said about before, just he's gonna have to be very careful because Ping Diff just have a comp in general that can quite easily just dive on him and kill him.
Also, don't forget, Agni's being buffed next patch on his 2 and his ult as well. If you see a fire here, that Loki doesn't really want to end up taking. The ult is expanded from the side of Sparkfire, but I don't think it's going to amount to anything but a beat and the ult used on the side of VTubers. As Basilius is trying to scout here.
Pretty good
Looks
play
like-
from Spark there, especially pulling the beats too. Be calling BMJ over now for a gank, definitely.
Yeah. I think it's pretty normal though that Ishtar is the better 1v1 as of right now. Jing just needs to get bait going as Purple Buff is being invaded. Off of that pressure, I don't think that Loki can do much here.
Nothing to do, and Nacho's backing it up too, so there's
Mhm.
no need even to fight it.
Ooh, Matt steals the small ones there, but the big one is being secured by Luxor Gaming. As there's being a lot of grouping here on the right side. 3 people in the right jungle right now. And there's like looking to be a scuffle here as Basilius is being absolutely destroyed right now with Big Man Jesus' damage. Going to the Pala, he does get pulled, but beats is expanded and he's safe. He's right on out of there. I have a feeling that he's going to back right now and he's going to show up with an ult very soon. If this fight ends up continuing, Luxor Gaming putting some damage on Mr. Nacho's face. And yeah, Pingdiff has some great pressure right now to end up pulling a Pyro here. And what is being shown up? Only Dawsy. He secured Fire Time once, he's gonna do it again. No, Pingdiff ends up securing it. But that Ganesha was pretty on the news. I feel like he almost stole that.
That must have been very close, yeah.
Yeah, that was really close.
And we've seen him do it before.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I see the regular builds coming out, Cthulhu with the Pythax. I think that's pretty much standard. Fablast Guan. Looks for damage taking some poke here. As Basilius is going for a sneaky red invade.
The builds across the board, yeah, pretty standard so far. Nothing that I,
Mhm.
again, think looks out of place or anything like that.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
surprised that
traditional role.
there's been not a little bit more action in the duo lane.
Ooh. Sparkfire thinking he has a great gank here, but Basilius is all in his face, waiting to collapse on him, and the ult does massive damage. Loki is in trouble, but ooh. He just has the ult slightly off the mark. It's going to the air, the beat is used, and Basilius gets out, or does he? Because Big Man Jesus is going to collapse soon with his 3 and his Paolo ready? Paolo is just off of cooldown right now. Does manage to pull Loki, and I think that's going to be the end for Loki right there. I think Big Man Jesus wants more.
A pretty interesting choice to rat out into the tower when you were so low.
Yeah.
I felt like they should have just accepted the fact that they didn't get the kill and just left.
It's the greed showing up there. I mean, he does get out, but it does end up costing Loki though. And yeah, you can't rat ult him when he's still got beads up. As Pingdiv is looking to secure. Oh my god, there's so much damage Big Man Jesus is doing, but it's not gonna be enough. Pingdiv do secure the Gold Fury. Yeah, it's looking good for the side of Pingdiv right now though. Basically 2 points, what was it? 1.7k ahead right now.
Very good. And this Ishtar's starting to build a lead, and that's not really a character you want to be giving much of a lead to.
No, definitely not. And as I said, I think that Pingdiv do have a slightly better late game team fight, although it's not that far off though. But there's still a slight lead in mid because of Matt being sold a couple times, and Ganesh is going to show up mid as well. And Matt uses the dashes out. Nothing happening. Big Man Jesus again showing up. Luxor Gaming very, 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 very low. It's being ran at currently. Big Man Jesus has the movement speed to show up. But he
Definitely
does
a lot
get
of
out.
pressure going into the mid lane. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen it early, and it's a bit surprising in the current meta, I'd say. I mean, I don't really feel like, especially compared to the solo and the duo in the mid lane.
Brad is making the rotation as well. Celia is looking to fight an Ishtar who's 3 levels up on him and gets to be punished for that, as you can see. Yeah, I think Baz has no chance of fighting this Ishtar right now. He's just so far ahead. 2 crit items online. I wouldn't try it, buddy.
Yeah, twice in a row he's been caught out. He's really, at this point, trying a bit too hard to be ganking people, especially...
Yeah, 3 beats there. Yeah, Ping are now showing more and more signs of imminent pressure as we see Red Buff being like contested. Is about only support, but Ishtar is going to join in soon. Although it's currently a 3v2 right now, it's not looking that good side of Pingnif, but Luxor Gaming does get picked off by Big Man Jesus, who joins the fight in the end. Lucky has used the beat and is very, very low, but is returning good damage on Big Man Jesus. And Big Man Jesus will just get into the pile just in time. As Basilius also gets into the air. He's going to drop on wherever Big Man Jesus is going, but no! He waited too long. And that's just a complete wipe. Wow.
The Agni stun and the Agni bombs coming through pretty big there too. Had a 3-mans. And he's stunned.
Yeah.
And he's still chasing for a kill by the Phoenix. Trying to redeem his 0 and
Wow.
3.
The Pingnif are showing that they're top dog a bit over here. I want to see the damage numbers real quick. Because I don't know, I think that Matt catched up a bit there in damage. Yeah, he's third now. I feel like he was way below just a while ago before those huge Agni bombs. Agni's damage is starting to scale a little bit now. And obviously we have the Ishtar in top right now with a 3-level lead over Locky right now. Yeah, it's looking good for Pingnif.
There's definitely some big damage coming through from the Agni there. And I feel like he's probably at a point in the game now where, well, hopefully he won't be soloed anymore.
Yeah, he was behind now, but now he's a level ahead. Yeah, the Luxor Gaming is doing their risky sort of play here, and
Oh,
that was definitely emoji ult I just saw.
that was very, very close to having him inside of it.
But yeah, to be fair, it was close, and if he gets inside of it, there's no way that Morgan can get out. Yeah. I mean, if you're VTuber's Paradise, well, what would you do right now that can turn this like game around?
I feel like we were saying earlier, especially in the between the jungle, the mid, and the support, they need to be fighting more together. We've seen Basilius going a lot by himself for no real reason, really. The last 2 times he's died, he's been trying to kill people by himself.
Yeah, definitely. This Basilius is trying to be a one-man army, but he said he was 5-1 at like what, 8 minutes, and he's 5-3 now. It's not been going particularly well. Spylar gets into the air. Basilius goes in the air to join him as well. And the Pala gets pulled 3. Dodge is being pulled in. Basilius want to chase the kill, and I think he's going to get it. He has nothing much he can do. And Luxor Gaming gets picked up by Isle of Mothers here, and it's only Dawsey and Basilius left standing as Mirandus has rotated already. Threadis is going to join the fray as well, joining with the heals and the assaults. Ooh. I think there's going to be disengage over here, but that was a fair fight. It's 1-for-1, jungle for mid.
Yeah, Morgan being caught out again and starting to fall behind this Agni too. You see a 2-level lead for the Agni now, when he was behind before.
You do end up trading the winning team's jungle, like not the winning team, but the team that's ahead's jungle for the team that's behind's mid laner. Start to wonder, is that even worth for them?
I guess there's not much in it, but I guess it probably was worth. But
I guess it doesn't matter that much. But it's basically a trade that results in not much really. The gold doesn't really shake from this. The only thing that matters here is that a Gold Fury is being looked at right now, and Threadless is showing up.
there's a big lead for Ping Diff too, gold lead, and we're looking at a level 20 Ishtar here, and that's a pretty scary thing to see in a team fight at this stage.
Yeah, this level 20 Ishtar is going to do absolutely massive damage in that fight, but Basilius and Big Man Jesus are fighting, but Big Man Jesus gets caught out as Luxor Game was in the fight as well. VTuber security objective in the meantime, and Thread is absolutely going crazy on the back line, but is being forced out now. Basilius does clean up Big Man Jesus right now, but the back line on the side of VTuber's Paradise is very low. Threadis has the ult and is going on Isle of Mothers. Marnus is going to the ult to respawn as well. Luxor Gaming putting in massive damage. The Ankus popped, and Luxor Gaming is absolutely blown up right now. And this Ishtar is showing her worth with this ridiculous amount of damage. Basilius will fall down as well to Spark Freera, and I think there's going to be a complete wipe as well, because Loki is being caught out as well, but he does have the dash to get out. Spark Fire is still showing up, but a huge bomb from the Agni, double stuns, and forces out the ult for Loki. And that's just almost a team wipe on the side of Pingdiv. They only lose Big Man Jesus and get 3 in return.
VTubers also did secure the Gold Fury too, though, so I feel like their lead has
VTube
become
secured, yeah.
They did. So the gold lead has become a little bit smaller than it was, but it's barely.
Yeah, it's going to change now because they're going to be swooping up towers here. Yeah, I think that with this left tower and if Pingdiv play it right, they should go mid tower here. Maybe even look at Fire Giant while they're still ahead here, and then they can just return the gold state as to where it was. You can see the gold charts really quickly. Did it change that much? That was a slight dip, yeah, but it has basically returned to its former state already.
Yeah, I feel like the Fire Giant play is probably the call that Pingdiff needs to be looking at right now, especially whilst they've got the leads they've got. They can just
they're still ahead.
They can just pull it and fight on it, and I don't really feel like there's anything the VTubers can do about it.
Sitting on Loki. Loki doesn't have ult from the last fight. He doesn't get beaten, and it's just a free kill. But there's four people VTubers Paradise on the right side, and you know that there's 2 left. I think VTubers should take a fight right now, and that's exactly what they're doing. Thradis is going in with the horse, going at absolutely assault. I Love Mother's here, and he's going to catch a rattle on his face as well, as Mr. Nacho is being poked at slightly as well, and it's taking bits of damage, but it's not going to matter. As Miranda is looking to keep the fight going, but the Ganesh will silence him out and will disengage the fight entirely. That was a good play by VTubers in response.
That was very good. It was a pretty good trade too. I mean, you lose Loki in the duo lane, but then you make a rotation of your own and you kill Agni within the mid.
I think they're going to start the objective here. Interesting. And VTubers definitely know that they're there. Idolzy's there. I don't know. I think Pingdiff should start taking the fire as Big Ben Jesus does get in, and the emoji ult is being forced already. But there's a clean disengage on the side of VTubers as I see it right now. Basilius is going back in, is doing lots of damage, but it gets return damage on him immediately. Randus goes into the ult, and it does absolutely massive damage, but Loki shreds down Sparkfire, and Master Nacho falls down as well. And the side of VTubers is absolutely clapping the cheeks of Pingdiff, as Randus is going to fall down as well. Wow. And Fire Giant is going to be picked up by VTubers now. What just happened?
That was a huge pickup onto Spark. Spark died pretty early into that fight.
Yeah, definitely. It was just a very clean disengage on the side of YouTubers as Dalsy is in a bit of trouble here. But Luxor's Gaming is gonna try and look to zone out Isle of Mothers. He does get the dash off, and that's gonna be it for Isle of Mothers. And Fire Giant is secured on the side of YouTubers. Yeah, the game is just completely on its head now. VTubers are about to get a lead. Wow.
Yeah, when Basilius is going into these fights, he's taking a lot of aggro, and that kind of just left Spark and a couple of other people in that fight just open to being just over, really.
Ganked from the side there, just around the corner, and you see suddenly the mid laner and the ADC are just railing on you. Wow, it was a great play from VTubers. Yeah, it's definitely sitting in the hands of VTubers right now, even though they're still like 1k down. They do have Fire Giant, and the side of the Pingdiff has more towers up to get. The tier 1 in mid and the tier 1 on the left are very poked out, and then if you get those two, you'll be the one with the gold lead in your hands.
Yeah, the goal lead has become much less than it was before, like you said, and
look at that drop.
I feel like VTubers too are definitely showing that they're team fighting better than Pingdiff. Pingdiff, I felt like was a lot stronger on the rotations and the ganks, and that's kind of how they built their lead. But they're not doing so good in the team fights. The emoji ults have been a little bit off so far.
Lackluster, yeah. There is definitely something left to be desired from these emoji ults. But all it takes is one really good emoji ult to just flip a fight on his head. Same with the good Cthulhu ult. Pingdiff still have those very, very, very impactful ults as Pingdiff gets just blown up by Luxor Gaming. Whoa! He catches 2 out, knocks up 2, and Mirandus is being picked up in the side while he's being silenced out of doing anything. And VTubers are just looking to rail in. They still have Fire Giant. Basilius goes in, blinks in, gets the stun, gets the beats off of Sparkfire, and he's going into the ult to further continue his fight as Stratus goes into the cavalry charge, and Stratus cleans up Sparkfire as Basilius is going to go from Mirandus here and absolutely shreds him down as the beats is popped from the palo that was being used. Basilius will definitely fall down now, but that's really, really worth to get 3 in the side for 1. If they're quick enough, they can get a Phoenix on the left side. Wow.
And it's a little bit confusing why they're trying to defend gold so heavily.
Yeah.
I mean, Acne dashed into gold just then to try and defend it, and it's at this point it's not really worth your life, especially when this is about to happen too.
Yeah, that's really, really, really well played from VTubers, and a strange call by Pingdiff, in fact. But the Phoenix will fall down because of that. And, I mean, VTubers got to be happy right now. You still have Fire Giant left for, I'd say, like, what is that? 2-minute respawn? It's got to be like a full minute still. So, I mean, if I was VTubers right now, I'd still say maybe we can get the tower in right, and then just call it quits, group up again, ward up high, and win another firefight. You got the Phoenix in left.
Definitely, if I was VTubers, I'd be very confident right now that we could take a team fight against Pingdiff. Pingdiff, BMJ has been pretty impressive in showing that he can get some return kills and get some big parallels and pull some beads, but apart from that, Pingdiff is struggling. Apart from that, their Agni in mid is he's getting some decent damage off, but he's making some questionable plays.
Yeah.
Questionable plays, trying to defend things, dashing in, etc. It's a little bit strange at the moment.
Yeah, this Agni's not showing its worth completely yet. It's still not ticked up to level 20 as well. And we see the starter items on the side of VTubers have gone online, while only on Pingdiff you only see a Tainted Breastplate, Booma's Hammer, Compassion, that's about it. There's still a decent advantage for VTubers because they have quite the gold lead now, with the Relics upgrade as well. It's going to be very interesting.
It's pretty surprising to see how far the game has been flipped on its head, especially when how quickly the Ishtar got to 20 and things like this. So I thought that Pingdiff were gonna pretty much see this one out.
It's definitely not right now. I mean, everything can still happen. If Pingdiff get a really good fight here, they can just get the Fire Giant and get a Phoenix, and then what? The game is flipped on its head again. As they do secure the Scorpion.
Really depends how confident they are on this Fire Giant, whether they're gonna commit to taking it or get off and have a fight.
Nope. That was a very nice 2 from Mr. Nacho. But he does hit the second one though. Basilius is just sitting around the right corner waiting to get a perfect engage here. Also just pushing some minions down as the Palo is being popped for something, alright, for some reason, but is nowhere near anybody as Basilius has heard that and it seems that he wants to go in. Fire Giant is almost at 30% right now, and Pingdiff are not nearly showing up yet. Pingdiff Titan is being under attack as Mirandus is going diving deep, but his older the entire side of Pingdiff has gone a great engage. Big Man Jesus gets the kill. Luxor Gaming. Mirandus is falling quite low. Loki gets picked off by All of Murders here, but Threadus is doing some decent damage here. Titan is still under attack, and it looks like VTubers have to disengage here as it can completely cut out. Mr. Nacho gets a great Riptide, catching out Threadus and completely stopping your solo laner in her tracks. As Fire Giant is now on the side of Pingdiff. And as I said, it's completely turned around, but Basilius is getting in the air, looking to dunk on somebody. The side of Pingdiff haven't recognized the damage. And Dalsy is just sitting there, he's trying to seal it with the... No way. Oh.
Very close. Very close.
No way, he tried to steal it again with Ganesh. My man has been trying to chase a dream of accomplishing a fire steal with Ganesh again.
He has been terrorizing teams with his objective stills.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Mirandus had a really good engage right there. And it was just a clean team play from Mirandus. And Miranda's and Big Man Jesus just teaming up very, very well. And then Isle of Mothers dashes in basically and drops a bunch of bombs. And yeah, what do you know? Agni does damage late game. And now it's back on its head again. Ping the very advantage.
I just felt like in that fight, the Dodgy was in the back for free pretty much. It didn't really seem like there was much pill from the Ganesh. I mean, when you're playing Morgan Le Fay, obviously you have to recognize that they're going to need a lot more pill than anybody else. It's not like the Jingwei needs as much pill as a Morgan does, so...
Ping if we're going to secure the Primal Fury. That's the regular Gold Fury. To make sure, and Big Man Jesus gets in the Paolo. Did he even get anything?
I think he got the Morgan ult.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, Morganault has been expended, so that's probably the case. I mean, that's an okay trade, I guess. Trying to see if we can maybe get the beats from the Morgan, as this Dashi has a lot of cooldown. With Booma's Hammer, she's wants to hit minions just to make sure that the ult is on slightly lower cooldown. Brandis does have the ult and he's gonna dash in, pop the ult, and meanwhile Threadis is going to backline himself. Isle of Mortis goes back into the backline him as well and kills Luxor Gaming, does massive damage against Threadis with the firebombs. And meanwhile, Big Man Jesus gets quite low, and think Ping want to disengage here, but then Sparkfire goes back in and just gets the kill. Basilius, all the way in the back, does see that Big Man Jesus has fallen off way too far in his health. And we see that Basilius is back again in the backline and picks up Isle of Mothers. It was a great play. Stealing just a kill for free there. Totally unnoticed. Threadis is going on the Sparkfire, but just shows how much damage Ishtar can do when he's popping off. Basilius again dashes in, tries to do damage. Sparkfire drops low, but doesn't get killed again. This peel from this Emoja and this Cthulhu is crazy right now.
It's kind of to be expected with going into the game that the two junglers would be like pretty prevalent in this game, and you can see it from Basilius too. Basilius is now taking the role that BMJ had earlier of his team is struggling a little bit, but he's still managing to find some pretty big kills.
A great ult from Dawes. He's slowing down Mr. Nacho and trapping Sparkfire basically in a close block as Basilius cleans up the kill. Gets very low and gets another kill on Sparkfire. This man is going absolutely crazy right now. Don't let him under rat. But I think Brandis is just about to escape here for free as Vichu will still have to deal with the fire wave on the left side. Basilius is going nuts, man. Wow.
He's going crazy, and the kills he picked up in those last two plays, pushing, especially on the left-hand Phoenix as well. Very big kills. Kills that he probably shouldn't have got.
I'd agree. My man, Basilius is kind of putting his team on his back a little bit over here, as V-Troopies are going to clean up a pyro here. It's going to help him a little bit to return from the base, as he's still, as Basilius is still sitting in the fountain. Sitting in spawn.
I feel like the mid gap too is slowly becoming a little bit smaller. I mean, he still did get soloed, but he is coming online a bit more than the Morgan now.
This is a very, very close game. I mean, which Bargen is this now? This is like the 4th, I think?
I think so.
I think this is the first EFG as well that we're going to see fighting over. And this is a real game decider. EFG, 35 minutes. This is usually when games end.
And everybody has to be here to fight over this.
No contest. Yeah.
Definitely not. You can't be giving this up, especially when, in fairness, the team fights have been going equally as well for both of them. We've seen both teams win team fights, so I think everybody's going to be committed to this one.
He's also showing his stance skills over there, but meanwhile, Luxor Gaming, yeah, it's not. You can't let that happen to you. You cannot step that far up if you're alone as a mid laner, and he does get punished very adequately. Pingdiff still have a Phoenix down on the left, and the Fire Minis are pushing up as well. I mean, Big Man Jesus gets another great engagement. Thread is here. Thread is being very low. Miranda's going to the ult to basically stop him from engaging, but Threadis pops the ult and responds and gets out. That's Threadis ult for Miranda's ult. As Big Man Jesus tries to get in the air again. And does get the pull off, does get the beats. That's going to be the ult from Basilius. And he's thinking about where to drop down. Does drop down, Big Man Jesus, does get it. But Agni damage him massively right there. Basilius is quite low, but he does have the movement speed to just run out.
Basilius is absolutely terrorizing
Yeah. Dalsy
King Diff right now.
trying again. Sitting on the walls.
I believe in him this time.
Believe. No, ping obscure, but Basilius is back in the back line again. Almost getting the kill.
Big
and
shell.
Dalsy gets a big shell off you. That was a crazy shell. Man, I love Dalsy, right? But at some point, surely you just run into Fire Giant and just start annoying them. Dalsy got rooted with the sprint. He's in very big trouble now as he gets stunned out there as well. Gets another firebomb dropped on his head. Guan is there to help him out though.
I just felt like soon they have to look at Basilius in the back line. He is literally running around behind their team and just getting a pick every single time.
Basilius is putting Feature's Paradise in your backpack just a little bit right now. As Pingiv is trying to go down for this, right? Phoenix, they do have EFG on their side with minions as well, so this is gonna dissipate instantly. Ganesh ult is pop, but it's just soon it's just not enough yet. And it looks like Printers is trolling a little bit by sneezing out of assisted camera. And then we're going to see both Phoenixes down. Oh, no, not both Phoenixes. Left has already respawned in the meantime, but it's certainly not healthy. Definitely not healthy enough for a team with EFG ready to just run down mid. And
No.
Pigman Cheese is in an interesting position.
King Diff definitely at the point now where they can probably just siege these Phoenixes and
Well,
win the
Basilius
game.
wants to
too.
fight Bigman Jesus here, but blinks and doesn't get value. Unfortunately. Yeah, this is a extremely close fight again. Even though that Pigniv have EFG, they only have got Riot Phoenix in the meantime. And you only got 2 minutes left still on that EFG. So they gotta make use of this, of the Power Giant. And I've just not seen enough use yet. I would just go run straight down to left Phoenix if I was Pigniv right now.
And in terms of the team fights too, like we were saying about this Ishtar, if you look at the
Athletic is just dead.
just dead out position. The player
Athletic-
damage for the Ishtar right now is crazy.
Athletic really needed to get that purple buff. Don't you worry. Instead of playing back a bit. And yeah, Pingdiv have the game in the palm of their hands now. 4v5 with EFG on the side. Good Ganesh ult though, but a great Emojo to stop the fight there in his tracks. But Basilius has fallen down. It's 3v5 now with the power lodge being dropped. And Loki is being picked up as well. Moran is doing massive amounts of damage. And surely this is going to be game on the side of Pingdiv here. Moranis is dropping quite low, but the healing from Cthulhu is just way too much. Spark Freeway gets a kill on the Luxury Gaming as well, and it's only Dalsy left, and Dalsy is not going to do anything. Pingdiff managed to get a decisive grip on game number 1.
Yeah, and the Ishtar pick definitely coming big.
Definitely.
51,000 damage.
This was a game decided by both junglers here. If I saw something, Big Man Jesus and both Basilius did amazing jobs. I think Basilius is slightly better than Big Man Jesus, but that might have been because he was almost like a lone star right there, out there. But man,
Definitely, he's putting in a lot of work by himself.
mhm.
Bit disappointed with the 2 mid laners, I'd say. I mean, for one, it started off well and then ended badly, and
Yeah, do you not
hopefully we
forget?
see some more solo kills next game.
Do you not forget that Mr. Matthew I Love Mothers did get solo twice by Luxor Gaming. That's not something that I'm gonna make him forget anytime soon. But in the end, he does get to squeeze the victory out of there. I see 51k damage by Spark Fire right there on the Ishtar. That's crazy.
I think
Wow.
solo kills is pretty much all that matters on the power rankings, right?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. And yeah, it's just clean game by Pingnif. I mean, I say clean, but there was a lot of fighting over there. It was back and forth. One time with Freechu was winning, one time it was Pingnif in the hands, and at the end they just managed to squeeze out a victory here. Very well played by the side of Pingnif.
Definitely some really scrappy team fights, and Also, something I did not realize watching the game, I thought he would have done more. The Guan damage and the impact of Guan, not really seen that game at all.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
only just done more damage than the Ganesh.
Yeah, barely almost. Yeah, I don't think the Kwan did quite well here. And if you look at the damage that Cthulhu did in comparison, it's 10k more. That's gotta feel rough. But yeah, I mean, Spark did so much. PMJ did so much. Miranda's had really, really great ults. And even though Matt was struggling in the early game, he did very, very well at the late game.
Yeah, he definitely took over towards the end off of Luxio. I felt like Luxio and Basilias kind of had that kind of early pressure. Basilias kind of stayed relevant throughout the rest of the game, but Luxio not so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. It was well played though. Definitely well played on the side of VTubers. I feel like game two, if you just adjust your draft a little bit more, they can definitely get a win here.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why they can't. There was definitely
Mhm.
moments in that game for both teams where they could have done things a little bit differently to what they did, but also the Umoja too. Maybe the ults and things like that weren't quite on point, but 17,000 healing is not something to be laughed at.
Yeah, definitely not. 17,000 healing, average Yamoja gamer. Did we actually end up seeing an? Wait, did we see an Onk? I remember I saw an Onk popped one team fight. I don't know if Pingdiff or VTubers popped it though. I don't remember. Now I'm sad at not looking at it. Also, both teams have pretty decent wards up. It was pretty nice from them.
Pretty good wards. We love to see consistent wards.
Yeah, I'd love to see consistent words from him, but then as well. But anyway, are we ready for game two? Like, well, what is happening right now? Yeah, it looks like we're going to a quick break right then.
Show me a different way. I'm not afraid to let my guard down. I was walking in the dark until you came and turned a light on. And I don't wanna take the rain without the clear skies. And I don't wanna take the pain without the love. I know you have to break a heart to start the healing. I know I'll never give you
Took a swing at a wrecking ball and I prayed for my downfall, and I found a way to reconcile, 'cause in my heart it's not worthwhile. It's a bloody battlefield where some go down, others heal. In the end it's all the same. All you can do is play the game. Oh, do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I'm sad to say I'm sorry, so lie. Pretend that you're okay. Swear that you will stay. Keep trying for one day. I'm sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize. There's nothing left for me to hide. Don't wanna live a lie. Too many lows, too many highs. Too many things to criticize. And so I leave it all behind. Don't wanna live a lie. Life kept spitting at my feet and forced me down a dead-end street, when all I had went up in flames, burning only dark remains. I cover up every part of my skin, oh, 'cause I don't like the person within. Oh, I know I'm the one to blame. All I can do is take the shame. Oh, do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I'm too sad to say I'm sorry, so lie and pretend that you're okay. Swear that you will stay. Keep trying for one day. Whoa, I'm sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize. There's nothing left for me to hide. Don't wanna live a lie. Too many lows, too many highs. Too many things to criticize. So I leave it all behind. Don't wanna live a lie. A I don't wanna live a lie. Live a lie. Ooh. I'm sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize. Oh no.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to VTubers Paradise versus Ping Diff. Last game, Ping Diff, although a bit shaky, get the dub in the end after a close game one. And now we'll see if Ping Diff can secure the definite top two spot, or do we go to game three over here? Again, I'm joined again by Mr. Kai, and we do get to pick some bands right now. As we see a Hades for VTubers, followed by a Capri on the side of Ping Diff, followed by Krabraken and Ravana.
Yeah,
Ravana's new, isn't it?
I feel like the Ravana is definitely a targeted ban. I know where that one's gonna go.
Yeah. It's they didn't want Bass to win the game, and almost I'd say maybe even ban the Rat. The Rat was causing a lot of issues for as we do see a shapeshift of Thor into Dashi. The Rat was causing a lot of issues for Ping Diff, but they say no, let's ban out the Thor. I think the Thor is also a fine ban, but it does leave open the picks like, I mean, this Guan Yu, do they really want
They
Guan Yu
will
again?
all
Or do they want the
obey
Ishtar?
their goddess.
Question answered. The Ishtar is the first pick on the VTubers Paradise. Ping Diff still have the option of Vulcan, but I don't think they're going to pick it. Or Guan Yu, or Cthulhu, or... There's a lot of stuff still open. The Daji did get taken away though.
I'm happy with the Ishtar pick for sure. I mean, after seeing Spark do 51k on the last game, you kind of have to take it off of him or ban it.
And I know Loki has a mean Ishtar as well. This Ishtar is is definitely a strong god right now.
Very difficult to plan to.
The Ping Diff can respond, and I think you're gonna choose to respond with.
You will
I like the Rat.
getting in my way.
I'm really looking at this Rat. The Rama is being locked in first. And Rama against Ishtar, it's okay. I'd say Ishtar slightly favors, but Rama is one of the few gods that I think can have a good time against Ishtar. And Ratatoskr is gonna return again. Yes.
Rama also
Oh,
a pretty
wait.
strong god on this map,
Ratatoskr's
man.
on Ping Diff now. Just realized it's not gonna be Basilius on the Rat. It's gonna be BMJ on the Rat.
Yeah, taken off him.
I mean, it's probably a smart play after what he did again. And then Cthulhu, that's swapped around again. Last time Cthulhu was on the side of Ping Diff, but I think Viju is going to strip it away from Randus this time.
I would say it would be interesting that they haven't picked Guan, but given the performance on the Guan last game, maybe it's smart not to do it again. Like,
Yeah.
you can understand it.
Listen to the sky
I have to
crack
Steam
and
moment right
fall.
now. Atlas is one of those gods we don't see a lot, but I secretly feel he's
Burden
got
yourself
some really good
no
uses in some
longer.
comps as it is logged in.
Definitely a high-end support. Another god who's probably not played as much as he should be.
Yeah, definitely, Atlas is just a sort of a bully as well. And you have a bully with Ishtar in your lane already. And then it's just instant pressure in the duo lane. Yeah, because Cthulhu also just standing over there, waiting to just absolutely demolish late game. Now Ping Diff still have one more pick before another round of pick some bands. I mean, like, what do you think here? As Amaterasu answers our question already. Interesting. You don't see this god a lot.
It was a very strange pick, and especially given the sort of weakness of the early game, and also Mirandus is a very suspect player to be in solo too, so pretty interesting.
Yeah, Mirandus and Amaterasu.
Yeah.
Anyway, that will be something to look out to, at the very least. I feel like this Amaterasu was just purely picked because of just like anti-Cthulhu. Just get the passive on Cthulhu and shred him down. And Amaterasu like kind of does the same stuff that Guan does with the ult. The ult is also like really good for like in team fights, just getting those big swings in. And you can always build a Kins or an Exio on Amaterasu if you're feeling fruity. But Ping Diff will ban out Baba Yaga, Yu Huang, clearly targeting the Luxor Gaming who soloed Matt twice. As VTubers Paradise ban out the Agni and the Poseidon.
Yeah, very interesting to see no Vulcan bans again, and
Yeah. Bacchus just being insta-picked inside of Ping Diff. Interesting.
picking a very different comp to what I thought they would.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate it yet. It looks strong. Like it looks a good mix of aggressive and late game that VTubers have right now, but it all depends what's I mean what ping they have right now. What's VTubers gonna respond?
I smell fear.
Fenrir. Wow.
Very good pick into the Rama, especially.
Now I think me and Kai have already faced Bazi's Fenrir once before, and I'm gonna tell you it's quite effective, especially against
Battle.
oh, he runs down the enemy mid laners as Zilla is also being picked up. Wow.
So,
I like it.
I think
I
Matt is
like Zilla.
very good god. Struggles early, gets on a little bit mid, and obviously late. Everybody knows what she can do, but I feel like Matt's probably safe in the first 5 minutes of this game. He'll probably do something pretty wrong if he gets soloed by Scylla.
You currently don't know yet what the mid laner for Ping Div is gonna pick, I assume. I mean, surely it's not a Rama or a Ratatosker mid, or something stupid like an Amaterasu mid. Although we're talking about Matt, but he was probably waiting to see what Luxury picks so that he doesn't get soloed by it. As a what? A Maui? Huh? Is that even allowed? Wait, it is allowed?
About time he got into
Oh, okay.
around here.
This is trolling me.
Being trolled by Prentice.
Massively right now. Oh my god, it was like, what? Surely not. Surely not. As the disco is locked in. Wow. I thought I was going crazy there. The disco pick. I think disco is decent against Fenrir, yeah? But
Yeah, but
against the rest of the team,
not
think he
really into the
struggles.
rest of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. The disco passive will be helping out the Amaterasu probably in
That's
solo
true.
lane.
disco always has value just purely because of the passive. It's interesting. I kind of like both teams are so different. I'm gonna give it to VTubers. I think I'll have to like the draft of VTubers more this time. What do you think?
Definitely, pretty much a no contest. I feel like the Ping Diff solo lane pick and Bacchus is not a bad support as such. It's just a pretty surprising pick given some of the other things that were up. I mean, especially considering Ganesh, your mojo. I mean, there was nothing wrong with the emoji last game. The ults weren't there, but the healing definitely was. I'll be interested to see how Mirandus does on this Emma though in solo lane.
Yeah, I feel like I've not seen Emma in years, and it's like how I don't know how it's gonna pan out here. I mean, I think that if they can reach late game, Ping Diff still doesn't win. I like VTuber's late game draft more as well. In between the Cthulhu, the Ishtar, and the Scylla most noticeably. Yeah, you've got the Amaterasu who's gonna do bits, you have the Rama's gonna do bits, but Scylla can just run a game on her own. And she's got pretty decent setup with the Fenrir, with the Atlas. Yeah.
Yeah, enough. I feel like the Fenrir pick is maybe one we don't see so often, but it's definitely something that could run this game. Yeah, this is kind of a pretty good game for him to be in.
I do think that Ping Diff can snowball the early though. If this Bacchus does his job well, if the Rat does his job well, and they run away with the early game, then Ping Diff can just take... what did you just say? That just stunlocked me for a little bit.
CC Jane.
I just need to get DR'd real quick. But yeah, I think that Ping Diff can definitely take away the early game if the Bacchus and the Rat combine together very well.
I I guess it really depends what the Rat's gonna want to be doing because the Yama's
Mhm.
probably not gonna have much pressure at all in the solo line against the Cthulhu, I'd imagine. So he'll either be trying to help her, or he
Yeah.
could focus his attention more towards the mid and the ADC and kind of just say, "Yeah, Amma, you're gonna probably lose that lane anyway, but we'll try and get you on for late game."
Mm-hmm. As we're gonna transition into the game right now, as we do see, I think regular stars. Cthulhu opts in to go for the Tainted Shields, which against Death's Toll Amaterasu probably is fair. I mean, you're gonna steal some healing from that, and it's gonna be very good late game. They help with the healing from Devils probably as well.
It's a pretty smart pickup, and also a blink for the Bacchus.
Yeah, I was about to
Probably looking to play aggressive.
definitely interesting that Mirandus didn't opt to go for TP and just went straight to beads as well. So Doggy is Doggy got the two little ones. I guess that's something. That does mean that Nacho and Sparkfire will not hit level 2 off of this wave, and that Loki is going to hit level 2 quite early on this wave. But Doggy's already been pushed out a little bit. If I was VTuber, I'd try to fight this. Okay, level 2.
Just haven't managed to clear the wave as quickly as they probably would have liked.
Yeah. There's Doggy just needs to collect his minions, but nah, and hit level 2 real quick. It's interesting start seeing all these supports try and do like an invade here. I've never seen like a support that only tries to get the little ones and then back out.
I guess it makes sense considering I understand why you would do it, but
Doggy's still level 1 though. That's the issue.
yeah, so maybe overall it's not really worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's in a bit of trouble. He's super low as Basilius is trying to show something here. I think Dawes is gonna run in, get a good stun on the Sparkfire, but it's not gonna amount to anything. Dawes finally hit level 2. Praise the Lord. Yeah, I think the overall start that Dawes was trying to go for didn't end up working out. As Big Man Jesus is just corner camping a little bit and trying to see if he can get anything onto this Luxor Gaming. And there's still fighting going on here. What?
Yeah, still here.
And a good stun right there. And Bazilius does get a good jump on Sparkfire, who's gonna roll out, but doesn't gonna matter. But I feel like Big Man Jesus is just, oh yeah, perfectly. Go for a Blue Invade, go for backcamps. And I think Bazilius is gonna miss a whole bunch of farm here.
He is wasting a lot of time being over that side of the map. He got the Rama beads the first time round, and probably just not worth staying for the second time round.
Big Man Jesus could have gotten a speed buff here if he went for it. Looks like it's not going to be anything. Thread is on very, very low mana. I don't think there's a lot of stuff left to dash away with. As he gets stunned out, Mirandus doesn't realize that he doesn't have mana, and is just gonna hit the wave because that's way more important.
Oh yeah. Needs to get his minion damage up.
Mm-hmm. Boosting them stats, baby. But it's quite unfortunate that he didn't team up to kill Threadis there. As I think that was a free kill because of just how little mana he had.
Yeah, I'd say that was probably a missed opportunity. It seemed like if Mirandus had just been a bit more aggressive, then probably would have been first blood.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, you gotta take those risks there. As we do see Dawsey dropping quite low, being belly flopped in the air, and it's just a free kill for Sparkfire right there, and that's not something you want to see. Getting that Rama just already kill. This is not making his lane any easier for the HDR.
And since that start that didn't really go as he planned, he's been struggling quite badly, to be honest.
I love Mothers stepping up again quite highly. Ooh, it's a good stun and wow! I love Mothers getting diffed again by Luxor Gaming. What a classic story.
Also using his beads too.
Mm-hmm. The beats could have been used way earlier. You knew that the stun was coming out. that the that the Amma monster was going to be dropped straight after it, but it does appear that Luxor Gaming again gets a little bit of a lead in mid. Big Man Jesus wants to show up.
It was a pretty good recovery by Luxio to get the kill, especially after
Hmm.
missing his full kit before that.
Yeah. I mean, it's lucky that Basilius had really good awareness there, and kept his stun just for the ult for Scylla.
Yeah, it
Else
was
Big
good.
Man Jesus is gonna get his oracles.
Definitely good for him to persist with that,
Mhm.
especially jumping on him. After the brutalize, I didn't think I'd see him really chase it anymore.
Yeah, me neither. And he's again, it's like it's a small gold leads, the 800, almost 1k gold lead for Ping Diff right now. Even though VTuber's got that kill image just now, it's basically the first blood revenue that's all there. This dual lane is a bit behind as well.
Especially based on the way the last game went too. I feel like Loki definitely has to be calling Basilius over and saying we need to pot this Rama behind and give me control of this lane, because we've seen what happens when Spark gets out of hand last game.
Yeah, it's definitely something you don't want to see. Again, Rama's a very strong god that can almost do the same stuff that Aristar can. Both very strong gods right now. Basilius is looking to contest the scepter over here. Rama is in a bit of trouble, maybe, as he's gonna walk up and he is gonna get brutalized fully down. And the beat's already got used. He gets in the air though, but Mr. Nacho is here to stop out any aggression. But I think the Fenrir is still just gonna be waiting here, trying to get the kill, and he does get the kill. But the belly flop is on the way in on him. A good apple, but oh, great abilities coming out from Isle of Modus. Secures the kill on him. Luxor's a tad bit late over here. He does farm though. Luxury
Yeah,
Gaming did push a wave in.
And he's 2 levels ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But Disco just turned 7, but the XP lead he has, I guess he's doing the right things. He just needs to keep farming. Scylla right now is not going to make that much impact on anything, really.
But I think it's good though that Scylla is already slightly ahead of a Disco right now. Normally it'd be the other way around.
It's pretty unexpected.
Jeez. Yeah. And Dawsey is gonna get the cup over here. Very minimal skirmishing for this, as both supports are kind of duking it out. And that is Luxor Gaming being blinked on as well as Big Majita is going to go into the air. It's not going to go back onto Luxor Gaming. And Bach is quite poked out actually. Oh! Oh! Oh!
Yeah. Not much comment on that. I feel like both of these mids probably
What just
could be
happened?
taken in for some coaching sometime.
Oh. Like, you're never going to lose your number 1 mid laner spot, Kai. I'm just going to say that. That's something I'll say.
It's just,
Yeah, well,
it's not like I'm playing well enough to keep it.
I don't think you need to play very well if this is the competition you're facing.
Just nobody wants to take it.
Yeah. I feel the same, yeah. Wow. A lot of fighting going on in mid though. This is just basically a farming simulator that I'm seeing right now. And Pingdiv are coming out with a better trade over here. But Ishtar is looking to fight in dueling. Doesn't result in anything. Massive amounts of pressure that Pingdiv have in mid right now. That's going to lead to, I think, a red buff invade that not just looking at. Other modders just poked out slightly too much probably to actually contest this.
A bit too
Nacho
late taken.
is looking for it though. That's going to be secured for VTubers. As Nacho is running over to gank this Ishtar. This is a very risky game Lucky's playing. One belly flop and he could be out of the game. And does get the immunity frames from the stun. Does get the ult off and great ult
Big
from
rotation.
Lucky. Wow, amazing. Good ult from Dawsey. Does put some damage in. They could go for a gold fury here if they're good enough. If they see what they can do.
That's a big rotation, and Loki's playing in a way that he's confident that he knows that he has the people coming to back him.
Yeah, definitely. Loki was playing very confident there. He knew that the Bacchus was coming, and he perfectly timed his 3 to immune the stun. And he knew that he could have the Ultra CC immunity as well and stun out Sparkfera as a blink is being gone on Basilius, but not much going to come for it. V-Troopers are still slightly down on Ping Div though, in terms of gold. Especially
Also, in the solo lane so far, I'm actually quite surprised and a little bit impressed to see the Hammer doing as well as I would have expected the Hammer to be behind.
Yeah, I guess once you get the Golden Blade, you're not really losing lane.
No, you're pretty much set, but...
Hmm.
And to be fair, Cthulhu did have his blue buff taken.
Yeah, that probably helped Yama just enough. Do stuff as Bacchus is looking to try and invade here. Let's get him off the purple buff. Loki has a bit of Alzheimer's right now and forgets that the Bacchus is there, and he's... Yeah. That's... what? That's a buff you don't get.
Mr. Nacho, I'm just going definitely go #1 support.
I mean, that was just like... I don't know what Loki was doing there. The Bacchus literally ran back, stands in front of you, waiting with the secure. But yeah, okay, if Loki wants to play that game, fine. That's... I'm seeing some weird stuff going on here. If I'm being honest.
It's a little bit, almost not so similar to the last game in terms of how frantic the start to the last game was, but we're sort of seeing the same sort of things. I feel like a little bit in the last game, and especially at the start of this game, Dorsey is kind of just wandering around the map, not really with much direction. Things are being taken and things are being done, and he's kind of just like a spectator at this point.
A gold fury pickup from VTuber is good call. As 3 people are on right now. This Ishtar does a lot of damage with Sparkfera. I think he knows something. I think he's gonna get into here, but no, there's not enough time. VTuber sneak away a very good gold fury. I think Basilius is trying to look for something here, and he is not gonna see anything. He's instead going for a green buff invade. And Dawsey and Luxury Gaming are looking to catch out. Big Man Jesus over here, but Spark... Oh my god, Big Man Jesus got completely turned upon by Basilius. And it's only Mr. Nacho here. He's in a bit of trouble, and Loki gets the kill as well. VTubers in a very good spot right now. What just happened?
2 very big picks, and the Gold Fury too. The Gold
Wow.
Fury in itself was a very risky call. Not really knowing where anyone else was, but it paid off definitely.
As we
I
see.
think someone needs to take Luxio's ultimate button away.
That's true, and Luxor is going in and is going absolutely mad, diffing Isle of Mars again. This can't keep happening. Oh my god.
The mid gap on show is
The mid gap
quite
right
strange.
now is crazy. Wow. This Luxury Gaming is putting on a show. He really heard Matt's words about him not respecting Luxury Gaming's play at all and took it to heart and said, "Yeah, I don't take that kindly, bruv." Oh, as you do see a pulse coming out right now. I think Matt just needs to. He DC'd. I think he needs to take a little bit of a break after that play. And I think we're gonna take a just short little break as well. And see when we get back to you.
The ping diff need a mid sub.
Are we off? After a short discussion, Rand is going absolutely crazy, but immensely gets killed. And Threadus cleans up. What the fuck is happening? What the fuck just happened?
And Lucky, Solo, and Spark too.
Oh, no way. Well, who do we gotta put number one now? Surely this stuff. I've heard this LB72 guy, maybe. But in the meantime, VTuber's Paradise are looking at this Pyromancer. Dalsy drops the ult just to make it go a bit quicker here with the proc shred on it. I mean, I've just realized now that VTubers have a lot of proc shred with this Atlas and the Scylla, as Threadus wants to boost his damage numbers on Matt here. But yeah, there's a big solo kill. Look at this gold lead. It's like quietly gone from nothing to 1k to 2k to 3k in the past 3 minutes.
I mean, you can see the importance of Ishtar through the last game and this game so far. I feel like if it was to go to a game 3, I would just completely take Ishtar out of the picture and ban it and just have a clean slate.
It's definitely fair. This HR is always being looked at now. And it's like a line bully that you can't really deal with. There's a bit of scuffling going on the solo side between Threadus and Big Man Jesus. Big Man Jesus is not winning that one. Although he might be winning that one now. 3 people coming in, but Basilius is ready to fight here and does get the ult off on Big Man Jesus. But ooh, Luxor Gaming cleans up Big Man Jesus. Basilius is in a bit of trouble with Miranda's chasing him down, and Mr. Nacho gets a good ult off, securing kill on Basilius. As Threadus is still going mad on this Cthulhu, does get knocked up by fire and take a lot of poke. But Alamother's in a bit of trouble now. Has to use the dash. It gets the apple out onto
Good
Luxor
dash.
Gaming. Luxor Gaming gets a decent ult. Doesn't hit anybody though. And he's in a bit of trouble after he misses his entire kit. And Threadus is now being chased on Mirandus. And he's actually going to get the kill because Threadus is way too low to do anything here. The dash is not going to save him, I think, because Mirandus has his dash up. Oh, but where's the blink? I think that's actually going to... Is it going to save him? Mirandus is still chasing. Oh, another blink on him. Oh, great blink by Nacho.
Big
Making
knock
sure
up.
that nothing happens. Yeah. And Dawsey just sitting here now, not being able to do much. As another fight is happening over in the left lane, Basilius is nearby. Big Man Jesus is nearby. See how the gank here is. He's going to ult left side. Dawsey is going to fall though. And then could we please look left side as Loki already fall down. And Basilius is going in to get clean up on Isle of Mothers. Wow, what the... It's just arena, man. I'm looking at arena right now.
It is,
What's
at this point,
happening?
it's pretty much team deathmatch. No real direction of what they're playing for or where they're going. These guys just want to fight and kill each other.
I mean, I think Ping did get a win on the end of it. As I speak. I mean, no, Ping did get the win on the end of it. Because VTubers was 3k ahead before those big fights. And now look at the graph. Yeah. Ping Diff have brought it back. It's not even like a noticeable lead anymore.
Definitely some big fights for them there. As we were saying earlier, I feel like the longer this game goes on, it probably starts to favour VTubers a little bit more. I'm leaning pretty heavily towards the solo pick over the disco, especially for the late.
Yeah, it's already 2 levels up on Matt. It's very a big mid diff going on right now.
Mind the
As-
gap.
Definitely mind the gap right now. But the rest of the lanes look pretty even. They have 1 level lead for Nacho in support and 1 level lead for the Ishtar on Loki. This is
Nacho
both
will-
for Respawn.
Nacho also opting for a Em's armor as well.
Emperors, yeah. It's a bit early to get Emperors, I think, but it's always a decent item as Luxor really needs to stop using his 4-key.
Take his ultimate button away.
Get the ultimate button on his way as Basilius super cut out, and Alamother cleans up the kill, but Alamother gets burned down by Loki as well. Spark is in yield, trying to do some extra damage, and Nacho is still sitting in some decent health, and that's going to be a trade for Alamother for Basilius. Unless Nacho gets caught out here. Does get plucked in and massive damage coming out from the Ishtar and gets the kill here, and Big Man Jesus collapses as well. Oh, great fight for VTubers. It's now going to look to pick up the Gold Fury.
I'm really starting to feel like
Tony.
the more I watch him, the more that Luxhill should be number 1.
Yeah.
Apart from the ultimate button, everything else has been good so far.
Yeah, if he could start nailing these ultimates a bit more, this definitely would have been a less close game now, but do you see a 3k lead again for VTubers Paradise? Oni minion waves. We're going to start putting some pressure on. These Pyromancer should definitely be looked at with these Oni pressure they have right now. Luxor is going to real quickly clean up Scorpion by himself.
Really scrappy fights like the last game though, and very much fighting over, especially match in the early of the last game, almost fighting over nothing, just fighting just to fight.
Definitely.
Feel like they need to have a little bit more direction in terms of some things that they're trying to achieve, like objective-wise and stuff like this, rather than just fighting aimlessly. It's not really working too well for Ping Diff at the moment.
We see a whole bunch happening right now. I think teams just want to play supports around this power, around this fire. See what what they're up to with each other.
The Scylla and the Ishtar both having pretty healthy leads as well.
Yeah,
They're going to be
definitely
picking
is.
these next team fights.
Scylla has just recently finished the upshard as well. It's gonna provide a lot of damage if he hits the ults. We'll be a judge of that soon, I think. Interesting that both sports already got fortifying shell online as well. Oh, bit of a scuffle going on in right lane again. Nothing special though. Both teams are just patiently waiting to see who bites first. But I think it's gonna be VTubers want to bite first, but there's Miranda sitting in the back line looking for Basilius. Gets him in the air, but beats his use. Big Man Jesus in the air, collapses in on everybody. Luxury Gaming gets completely deleted by the apple and everything else as well. Miranda's Thradis has been blowed up already. Everything else. And Dawes is gonna fall soon as well. Yep. Dawes falls soon. Basilius gets a good blink, but as well as Loki does massive amounts of damage with the ult, but it just isn't going to get a skewer for a kill here. It's a great fight for Pingdiff.
Yeah, it was, and actually I think I take back what I say about the Bacchus pick earlier. It seems to be working really well at the moment, especially compared to the Atlas.
Work.
He is playing very well on the Bacchus.
Ooh, Randus might... Oh no, he gets a shell and he is out of there. I was about to say, Randus is going to do a bit of a mistake here, but Pingdiff secured Fire Giant. Gonna get this Pyro as... Doesn't opt to go for the Pyro, instead to go for their own camps. Yeah, I mean... Oh, yeah, the VTubers get the Pyro.
Loki just walking up, taking it by himself with 5 people in front of him. Yeah. That pretty much says to you what this game has been like.
Sorry. Okay, sorry. I've regained my composure.
Killed the chair one.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen some strange stuff, but that's gonna take the strange stuff cake, I guess.
Yeah.
How Lucky managed to sneak that away from him, I have no idea.
How stuff like that's allowed to happen, I don't know. But it just reflects how scrappy both of these games have been so far.
No, this is only game 2, but it feels like we're in game 5 already. This is what I'm seeing right now. Yes. But seems like the team with Fire Giant is just patiently waiting to see if they can group up here. Probably looking for this mid tower. I think Nacho's gonna get it on purely on his own there.
Yeah, maybe out of the two junglers, haven't seen as much as we did last game. They've been actually pretty quiet compared. I mean, last game everything was revolving around them pretty much, and had a lot of the kills in the game. Haven't really seen much of the Fen or the Rat, to be honest, as much as we would have thought.
Yeah, definitely. I think that Pingdiff are doing the right stuff now and finally grouping up and saying, yeah, we want to fight this here. You see a big fight starting here. Loki getting the ult out. Oh, Miranda's being very, very low now. Nacho gets a good blink in, but Big Man Jesus gets the kill on Basilius. And the Apple is very good on the Threadis. Gets multiple people in here. Big Man Jesus still has the ult ready to engage in the back. And gets a good ult onto Threadis. But Loki wants to chase him down, make him punish. As Parkfarer already used the ult. Trying to get somebody low with Big Man Jesus engaged. Didn't happen though. In a 4v5, they still want to defend this tier 2, which is crazy. I think you just give it up right now.
Definitely give it up. A team pushing forward with fire, and you have already a player gone. Also, Basilius being picked there is... I don't feel like he can really play the way that he did last game on the pick that he has. It's not him trying to be in the back like that. It's only really putting his team quite behind, and he has a 3-level deficit now too.
Yeah, he's trying to do it solo again, but I don't think that this Fender has as much escapability as this Ra has. I think Big Man Jesus has been doing a really good job with it as Miranda's blinks in to get the ult off Dalsy, already very low. Good knock up by Nacho. Big Man Jesus in the backline gets absolutely blown up, but does manage to dash away. You see, it's already gone. Basilius quite low. Threadis wants to keep the fight going. Gets into the Cthulhu ult. It's doing massive amounts of damage right now. Miranda is responding though with the passive, and Spark Fury rolls in to show that they can definitely fight here. Loki gets a great ult. Isn't gonna do much. And we see Big Man Jesus in the air right now. Is gonna collapse. Basilius tries to do it himself, but is gonna get collapsed on.
Yeah,
It's just-
again, more of the
again.
same. Just no need to jump into a full team of people like that. So,
Mhm.
I mean, if it didn't work once, it's definitely not going to work again. Just the more you do it, the further you fall behind, and that's what pretty much what he's experienced this game.
Yeah, definitely. This is a tough one for VTubers to come back from. It's 5k down. Even though the Scylla has hit level 20 though. That's a big spike. That's a very, very, very big spike. And 5k down isn't that bad.
It's not, but it's a big spike if you can hit the abilities. Otherwise, it's no spike.
Mm-hmm.
How hard, how well you're spiking, or how big your spike is, I mean, is pretty irrelevant when you're not really landing anything on anybody.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're just looking for a firefight over here. None of the Phoenixes are down. I think VTubers are a pretty decent shot. The VTubers definitely has the better secure over here with the Scylla, if he doesn't get caught out though.
His positioning is through game 1 and 2 has been very questionable. When
Yeah,
you're standing the
shouldn't.
furthest forward,
Definitely.
it's yeah.
So you see a fight here in mid. I think BMJ is going to discontinue that fight as Luxor Gaming rotated over to help him out. And Pyro will be taking down the Cypher Ping Diff. That's good for them. They want anybody to back out real quick. They can. Dawsey is already learning a great belly flop on Dawsey and greater engage of Randos does. Using the ult. Threadis is in the air and the Iron Monster is just off the mark there. Threadis is doing his best to heal up and peel for his teammates as Mr. Nacho has dived in, but Spark Fury gets the snipes off and does manage to clean up. Big Man Jesus cleans up Threadis as well, and Dawsey is going to be the next one to fall soon as I Love Mothers gets the Strife on him. No, is that Strife? What's Disco 1? Disco 2 is Strife, right?
Your guess is as good as one.
I don't remember now. Unruly Magic. Sorry, I'm not laughing. He knows every single ability name in the game.
Love Leffy.
Laffy is crazy. I love him. As wow, Big Jesus is going to choose to engage her with the ult, and Loki just gets picked off for free there. Ranus is very low, but that is not going to matter. As Nacho just says, yeah, let's just run it down.
It's quite surprising this game actually, because the two picks we kind of mentioned as being the questionable ones, the Amma and the backers, I actually see them doing the most work right now.
Yeah, they're just absolutely diving in and just showing the backliners who's boss right now. Miranda is tanking the Phoenix for just a little bit. The team is falling very low. Sparkfire does clean up Luxor Gaming though, and the Apple connects. Wow. Right Phoenix is going to be defended. You just can't do this yet without proper minions. Basilius is very, very low.
It's been some
Right.
very, very questionable seller ults throughout.
Nacho is back to full now. He's ready to just bang this Phoenix for ages. Dalsy does put the ult in to try and stop him. Sparkfire is in the air, ready to collapse on anybody. And Threadis will fall down. Sparkfire just absolutely shredding him down. And I think this might be game. Lucky just dashed in as well, and it's going to be in complete collapse on him as he falls down. Yeah, that was a big mistake.
Like in that game.
Yeah, Mirandas and Nacho are still quite healthy, and BMJ is just going to completely zone out anything that Basilius does. Titan's almost at 25% HP. It's 10% HP, and they're just focusing it down. And great fight from Pingdiff there. And it's going to be a 2-0 on the side of Pingdiff. Wow.
A little bit
That was-
surprising. Very scrappy
Yeah.
in both games. Especially in that game, a little bit disappointed with how big the Silla could have gone and didn't.
Yeah, I think just the Iron Monster that was just off the mark a few times too many. Unfortunately, couldn't really have the effect. It's crazy how this comp did better or fared better than the comp in game one. This was more dominant than that.
Yeah, which was surprising given the picks, especially the ones, like I said, that we were talking about. I felt like Miranda's played really well in the ammo coming out of solo lane, but I was especially impressed with the Bacchus off of Nacho. He was constantly in the back line, constantly knocking like one or multiple people up. A lot of stuns coming out of him, secured a couple of kills with his ult.
Yeah, I think Luxor, even though he has 5 kills, the damage was just not there. And this time, you don't have Basilius didn't have the same showing he did as game one.
No, it was
I think that's probably the biggest issue that he didn't compete with Big Man Jesus as much as he did game one.
and the Scylla too. I mean, he's doing the least
Yeah.
damage in the entire lobby, and
Yeah,
he
it's criminal.
he plays Scylla pretty much backwards to what it should be. He did really well in the early, which is not normally that common, and then struggled late when he should be absolutely blowing people up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a very clean game from Pingdiff, ending it at 29 minutes, just before the 30-minute mark. Is very well played.
Miranda's with 3 wards too. Big wards from Ping Diff.
Moran is clearly the MVP. No, I mean, who would you think had the most impact? Who's your MVP?
It's tough to say. I mean, like I said, I was especially impressed with the Bacchus in that game. Really,
Mhm.
really impressed with that, especially considering how badly I thought it would do.
Bacchus had great impact there. It was just amazing belly flops, great blinks, just disrupting backline so much, and then Moranis coming in to clean up with him.
Yeah, and on both the picks that we thought might not do so well, especially into a Cthulhu and an Atlas, but Cthulhu definitely getting out some good damage and being like pretty relevant, but the Atlas was just, I don't know, really struggled to have any impact at all.
Yeah, I think the Atlas in the end got countered a bit too hard by the Bacchus and just the belly flops that hit him, the stuns. Atlas could never really run away. The only thing he could do was drop his ult on himself and pray. Just pray and see what they can do. And then that secures Ping Diff for the second spot in the league. So currently we have top of the league, Kuman and Zoomin right now, followed by Ping Diff, followed by VTubers. Was it Hakai or Kinkai's? Hakai? I think Hakai, Kinkai's, VHS, Fountain Gang. We got Waddle between that as well. Waddle at 7th place right now.
Definitely some very interesting matchups that could be on there.
And finally, we have the leaked GSL Lower Division Finals knockout stage. This tournament will be a double elim tournament, and we can see which teams get a bye. The top 4 of Lower Division get a bye into the second round here, and it's going to be Kuman and Zoomin, Hakai, Pingdiff, and VTubers Paradise all get a bye into round 2. And in round 1, we see the matchups of Fountain Gang versus Ndubu 2.0, VHS versus Protectors of Yggdrasil, Waddle versus Off Meta Smiters, and Kinkai's versus Adequate Armadillos.
Yeah, some maybe not so. Oh, there could be a few upsets in the round 1, but
I don't know, man. Have you seen Fountain Gang play?
I have it. I think it depends heavily on whether Hunter is playing or not. We'll have to see.
Oof. Oof, that's strong words coming out from Kai. No, but actually, I'm kind of excited to see some of these, like Fountain Gang versus Ndubu. I don't know, that could be an upset. That could definitely be an upset.
There's definitely the potential for that. I mean,
Mhm.
the way Fountain Gang have been playing is, yeah, nowhere near how they probably should be. I mean,
I'm saying Fountain Gang, but VHS have also not been the most steady of teams. Protectors of Yggdrasil are not to be underestimated. I think Hella's on the team, right? I'm pretty sure Hella. If he can have a good game, he can. Well, Hella's off minus. So,
I
yeah,
feel like VHS though have actually.
yeah, I mean, Coastlat can just run them down. Coastlat is Coastlat.
I feel like VHS have actually become. Maybe they haven't got the results they wanted and stuff, but they've. I feel like they're a better team now than they were at the start.
I actually agree. Coastlat is doing some massive things, and they got Kunga in this in solo lane. Who's actually they're pretty decent as well. I rate them very much.
They definitely have a pretty good team all around. Even I would say even there's some of their recent games. Like I said, even though the results haven't really gone their way, they did play well in those games, and maybe no games in particular I'm thinking of, but they probably deserve to win one or two more than they should have done.
Now, something interesting is like who is your prediction for the finalists? What do you think is going to be the final?
It's hard to say. I mean, it changes all the time. I would have definitely put Ping Diff in there for sure, but if they're going to continue playing like that, then I feel like they could be definitely some upsets in there. I feel like Kuman could get there, definitely.
Nah, they're shit. I don't trust them.
I mean, we're experiencing some technical issues too, not playing as well as we should be. So, be interesting to see. I think Kuman and Ping Diff though.
I mean, you can see right now which teams are possible of facing each other right now. So it can't be. I mean, it can be Kumin and Zuma versus Sakai because of the double knockout system. I guess any team could win against each other, even though they're on the same side of the bracket, if I'm correct. I was thinking like you couldn't see Kumin and Zuma versus Sakai because they're gonna face each other in round 3 if they theoretically both win. But I guess because of the double elim system, I mean, you could see literally any match in the finals.
That's the beauty of it, really. Is even if a team you think has gone early, they can still claw all their way and grind it out to the end. But there's definitely like I said before, as a lot of teams are better now than they were before, and there's definitely a lot of different games that could be won or lost, depending on. I really don't feel like there's any two clear teams that get through to the final. I mean, there's a lot of good teams in it. Hakai, King Kais are still in it. They're both two very good teams. Still teams that can cause upsets too. I think VHS, pretty good team right now. Waddle, we know they can play well as well.
For sure. Now, are we going to do player interviews? Or is that off the cards? Yeah, it's off the cards. Are we able to do player interviews, printers? I mean, if any of the Ping Diff members or the VTuber members want to join real quickly and then let their voices be heard about the recent sets and about the tournaments that they're facing, and we're bringing BMJ in. Hello, BMJ.
Hello. No.
We got BMJ and Miranda's here right now. Now, first of all, congratulations on the win. It was a very well played set.
Thank you. It was exhausting.
Yeah, yeah, I could tell. And you played your ass off, BMJ, particularly you in game 1 and game 2 as well. And Miranda's had a very good game 2 as well on the Yama, which we really did not expect.
Yeah, I did nothing game 1.
Yeah, game 1 was a bit questionable. We're not going to talk about that. And Nacho also, game 2, that Bacchus pick was deadly. If I do say so myself.
Yeah, deadly for us, unfortunately.
I was very impressed by the Emma and the Bacchus, to be honest.
Yeah,
like,
the play of you two together was scary.
Bacchus was causing some real problems in the back. I mean, pretty much the entire game, he was just being a nuisance, stealing purple buffs by himself, knocking multiple people up in team fights. The whole game, they had no real way to deal with what he was doing, to be honest.
Yep, no way to deal with the fat man.
You know, I'm pretty sure all season Nacho for #1 support.
Oh, go on, Nacho, tell him what you did at the start.
Well, I leveled my 1 on Bacchus to start that game. I was chugging at level 1.
I think it probably worked out quite well considering There was a bit of a skewed steal on your purple buff, and Dorsey kind of stay level 1, gave you pressure anyway.
A little bit.
Yeah, Dorsey kind of throw in. I thought VTubers need to sort of replace him. I think.
Give me
Oh,
Dawsey, I'll give you guys race.
talking about players that need to be replaced, yeah, I think your mid got soloed, what, 3 times tonight?
Oh my. Oh my.
Okay.
Yeah, when he
Just
left, that
shoot.
was just him going to see his therapist.
That was a very quick visit.
Yeah, I mean we had him on suicide watch during break.
Yeah, I'd say don't give him a gun or something. Otherwise, he might just end up shooting.
Oh no.
Nacho
Oh
was showing off his
no.
deagle the other day.
Oh.
No, but yeah. I mean, it happens. Sometimes you trash talk and you get.
I
Like,
mean, but you look at the end of it, 10k damage still. I know I
this
prefer.
the Scylla did have some unfortunate ults. Let's say to the
think-
least.
I think
Missing his full kit pretty much every time.
Yeah.
yeah, what I'd say to VTubers is give Nuxio a leash so he can't step up so far.
Yeah, the positioning and him hitting abilities
Mhm.
was, but overall, watching the game as a whole, like, do you feel like you guys played as good as you could? Because to us, it looked very scrappy from
No.
both of you. Neither of you seemed like
No.
you knew what you were doing
Nah.
at any time, really.
No,
I think the only time that we were even slightly doing what we wanted was the last fight right before the last fire. It was the only time in the entire set that we actually played well.
Yeah, and especially in
Yeah.
game 1 too, Bazilias was causing in game 2 he
Bazilias
struggled
was
with
a
Sobe. In game 1
nightmare.
he was a nightmare in your back line. Didn't
Mhm.
really know how to deal with him either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically Matt was just getting flashbacks from one shot using Jan, so he decided to want to go and tank everything with his face.
I thought you would have been getting flashbacks from those full damage guards as well.
You know, I suggested it and I was told no.
It's probably better to keep you on something safer, to be fair.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I do have a liability to throw.
Brian just did numbers on the Alma, so like
Uh,
chilling.
Like we said, the Hammer and the Bacchus were 2 picks we said before the game looked questionable, but you guys were probably the 2 most standout, I'd say.
What can I
I
say?
agree.
Underrated player.
And as you can see, the lower division finals have been shown finally, and
Yes.
we can see that you either face Pink either face Waddle or off meta Smiters after
Let's say
round 2.
easy road to the finals. What
Easy
W
road to
doesn't
the
get to
finals.
yeah, what W doesn't get to game 2. Like we already make them forfeit game 1 because they're gonna be late, and then
Ah, okay.
then we get the game 1, then they don't get the passive of what W game 2, and they know
That's an interesting
VTubers.
strat. How are you
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
complete that? Are you gonna like
Well,
crash no scar?
exactly. Yeah. I mean, we already know where Emilio and Archie live, so we're
Oh.
yeah.
Oh,
When-
hey, yo.
at the
Hey,
club.
yo.
Manis, please don't
This is
dox
not
them.
condoned by Ping Diff, okay? This is Mirandus
Um,
by himself.
Yeah,
This is how
Manis,
this
what
is
have
how we
you been up
win.
to? Like what?
I've been planting seeds to get to the finals, man. We
What?
don't
What?
beat Water Wolf in a straight up 1v1.
It will be the
Oh,
second finals that you guys have made through the season, and probably considering the matchup, the second one that you'll lose as well.
Hey, yo.
Oh,
Interesting to see.
Hey, yo.
We don't lose a fountain gang.
That's true. That's so true.
Fountain Gang for finals.
Honestly,
2020.
Anything is possible.
It is.
anything's possible. That's so true.
True that.
Mhm.
Adequate armadillos for finals.
I
Again,
mean,
anything is possible.
anything is possible.
I'd get. I mean, King Kai's looking like he might even lose that one. To be honest.
I just watched Miranda's do 26k on ammo. Anything is possible.
Is that my highest damage set of this year?
It might,
It,
no
might,
way.
it might definitely be.
and
it
across two games, you did not get soloed. That probably is a personal best for you.
Unfortunately, we couldn't say bye, Mirandus.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
dang.
That was the aim, really.
We were waiting so badly for that.
We were in the edge of our seats waiting to spurt the words bye,
There were-
Mirandus, but it never
Yeah,
happened.
there were a few times when I was getting a bit low, and I was hovering the close application button just so like I could claim that I DP'd.
Wow.
As you see here, folks, Pingifa got some amazing new tech lined up. Just
Yeah,
ready to
I've
be
still
seen.
got plenty in the sleeve for you guys. You have no
Oh
idea.
my. Love to see it.
Yeah, basically don't ban Yamoja, Kabrak, and Bacchus. And we're fine.
I won't play the meta stuff anymore. I'm tired of it.
True
Mhm.
that. If you're better than non-meta stuff, I just say play the non-meta. Well, I think that I think we're gonna round it out here. I just want to say thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you to PingDiff, VTubers, and hopefully we see you guys next time. Yes.
In our universe, we are all alone. In our lonely hearts, we search for a way back home.